Comparing the old media and the new media is like comparing a desktop to a smartphone. They both do the same thing, but they do it differently. They use different processes, and in the end, one can do it better. With that being said, how does the LG V20 stack up when it comes to audio performance? And what about its cinematic capabilities? We're going to go through all of that in this review of the LG V20. So, without further ado, I am Andrew with Your Tech Explained, and let's go ahead and get started. The metal build leaves nothing to be desired in the body of the V20. It's rugged and has a military-grade rating when it comes to drop durability, which leaves an extra bit of security in your mind. The back is pretty clean with the V20 logo at the bottom, which looks pretty beautiful to say the least. More than halfway up lies a fingerprint sensor, which works really well. A small problem some may have with the sensor though is that it doesn't protrude or sink into the phone enough to give a sort of response when you try to find it with your finger, given you aren't looking at it. A few centimeters up lives the camera. Now the camera hump may bother some, but I find it gives a little distinction to the device. But when it comes to buttons on the V20, the back fingerprint sensor is also a power button. Such was the case with the G5. On the left side is the volume rocker set. It does bother me a bit that the rockers are on the left side and not on the right. It makes using the device a little hard because my hand just isn't big enough to go around the other side of it comfortably to adjust the volume, given the screen is 5.7 inches. And that brings us to the display. If you're looking for a powerful, brilliant screen, you should probably look no further than the 1440 by 2560 IPS display on the V20. Colors are pretty incredible and pop wildly, as they should given you'll want to use this phone for taking some incredible shots, whether they may be video or photos. The screen gets very bright, so you don't have to worry about being in direct sunlight while using the phone, and viewing angles are pretty on point thanks to the IPS display, and you won't want anything more out of it. You will find yourself playing around with the second display on the top quite often, which comes in at 160 by 1040. It's actually really useful in day-to-day use. For instance, when a notification popped up while using the V20, the notification popped up in the second display rather than interrupting the main display. I had a nice reminder of the notification in the corner and it didn't interfere with what I was doing, which is pretty awesome. It stays on when the main display is off, giving info like time, date, and even the icons of your notifications so you have an idea of what's happening. You can swipe through controls even when the main display is off to control things like music that's playing or even a flashlight. Overall, the second display is a welcome feature. One thing to remember though is with the power button on the back, you can always double tap to wake up the screen, which is a running feature in LG's flagships. Now on to performance. The V20 is the first non-Nexus device to run Android 7.0 straight out of the box. All the same features are there as expected, including split screen mode and quick app switching. The V20 has a powerful setup inside with a Snapdragon 820 processor, 4GB of RAM, and up to 64GB of storage out of the box. LG put their own skin over the top of Google's skin, but it's not overbearing. It only changes a couple things, and with a good launcher you can have the V20 set up just how you like it. In my case, I slapped Google Now launcher on it and updated my folders and apps, leaving me feeling right at home. If you're worried about whether the V20 can handle all of your favorite apps and more, you shouldn't be. The 4GB of RAM will provide more than enough power to speed through any apps you have open. Performance beefiness is a must when it comes to handling things like video processing and audio quality, which the V20 excels at. Now, audio. This is one of the big ticket items of the phone. The V20 is packing a 32-bit digital to analog converter inside it. This converts those ones and zeros into signals that'll produce vibration into your headphones, and this phone does it well. If you're an audiophile, you'll want to buy this phone for sure. I slapped on a pair of Audio-Technica AD700X Hi-Fi headphones on it and couldn't pry them off for an hour or two, merely because of the crispiness of the audio the phone produced. It was incredible to hear something good come out of a portable device. That brings me to my opening question of whether this phone steps it up with the whole digital to analog media debate. I'd go so far as to say this phone has a chance in that battle, and I'm sure some would disagree in a heartbeat though. The V20 enables Hi-Fi mode as long as you keep it enabled. If you don't enable it, you'll end up hearing a normal DAC conversion that would sound similar to any other smartphone. Another huge selling point in the V20 is the cinematic qualities it displays in the camera app. First off, the V20 houses two lenses on the back of the phone. One is wide angle and the other is a normal lens. One is 16 megapixels f1.8 and the other is 8 megapixels f2.4. The fact that you can do both wide and normal shots is pretty awesome. This leaves enough space if you want to get pretty creative with your shots, but if you really want to get creative, you'll probably be at home with the manual camera mode, which is pretty intuitive and easy to use. Video mode is a similar story. It also utilizes the wide lens and has a manual shooting mode. You can control almost every aspect of the camera you would need to, allowing you to get some amazing videos. Stabilization is an interesting thing though. It worked okay, but it definitely struggled a bit. As long as your hands aren't shaky like mine, you should be pretty good to go. The V20 doesn't seem to ever stop powering through all of its bells and whistles. With this phone, I can easily do all the things and spend a considerable amount of time on each of them, and still have enough battery at the end of the day where I'll actually ask myself whether I should charge it or not. I'm kidding, of course, you should never go a full day without a full battery. Jokes aside, the battery in the V20 is remarkable not only because it's 3200 mAh, but also because it's removable. Buy yourself an extra certified battery and you'll be good for a couple days without a charge. I tried very hard to drain the battery and I struggled to do so. So all in all, taking everything into consideration, the V20 is an awesome phone. It does every task very well and lets you forget about worrying about whether your phone can handle it or not. It's great for a decent sized population as well, whether it be small-time cinematographers, audiophiles, or the average battery drainer who takes extra batteries wherever he goes. This phone is for you. So if you like the video, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll catch you next time on Your Tech Explained.